Here is Hossein and myself playing a ladder match, and he wanted some tips on his serve. I rely on an unconventional methodology, MTM by Oscar Wegner, what I was traditionally taught. I think a lot of online coaches rely too heavily on video footage. As an advanced player, I was able to significantly improve my feel and variety in my serve using Oscar Wegner's methodology with very little video footage. I know that struggle to attain perfect mechanics caused players to take breaks from the game, myself included. Have a look at the real-time footage, and I'm going to show you side by side, comparing myself to Hossein. Watch how Hossein will look at his target, and this is well before he is in a ready position for the service. Did you miss it? Now observe when I look at my target. The relevance is that before you step to the line, Hossein is focused and concerned about mechanics, being perfect. It's as if there is a long checklist, but you know you only have so much time, so you imagine the serve and then you rush through it. On this clip, I will intentionally sync us up around the setup phase. It takes me less time to get ready, and yet I have more time to see the target and imagine what I want to do with the ball. I would relate this simply to Oscar Wegner's first F. Just find the ball. And if you need some technicals, make it simple and take your time so that when you are ready to toss the ball, you see it all the way. So for example, put less emphasis on the detail of your feet by having your foot behind the baseline. Next, position your body 45 degrees from the net. The grip is important to how you find the ball at contact. It seems your grip is either eastern or your heel pad is forcing itself to line up with the bevel your index knuckle is on. As a grade base student, we were only taught to line up the index knuckle with the bevel, and this is consistent with Oscar Wegner. Not everyone's hand is going to be consistent in size. We prefer to use the continental or hammer grip because it allows us to cut the ball more from a diagonal position. Either way, your grip will determine how angled you need to be to the net. So if you prefer your current grip, it seems to me that you will benefit more from a stance where you are actually facing the net. A lot of coaches don't want their students to experiment. Instead, they just want their students to trust that they know best. So that's why I'm giving you this information to try on your own. Okay, the toss. This one is synced to the knee bend. This is where we can borrow some of the traditional teachings, but with flexibility. I'm sitting in an invisible chair and I'm waiting, and throughout these different phases, I can clearly see the ball, and my head is pretty steady as I release the ball upwards. On Hossein's serve, the head is always adjusting, even from the setup, and especially during the toss, which is on top of his head. That toss is doable, but the head still needs to be steady. It's not an advanced toss, but it does require a sense of perception where you trust your hand over your eyes. If you toss a ball confidently, you don't need to see it. It's no different from throwing a free throw shot in basketball while blindfolded. But the starting point to get you there is easier if the toss is within your senses of vision, without readjusting the head. If you have a very high toss, you start the head focused on how high you are throwing. You will have to experiment what feels easier, and this can be changed as you evolve. There is a difference in the type of learning from the traditional and conventional teachers, because think of how they typically will teach. They will tell you they have taught thousands and millions of students to master one path. Even if that swing was personalized, the student never has the expectation of learning the serve immediately. They require a massive amount of repetition. So repeating the right way or the wrong way will most likely have the student feeling improvement over time. Oscar Wegner's method allows a student to grow intuitively and instinctively. That's why a lot of coaches feel that his methodology is a shortcut. I believe that a better targeted toss will encourage you to stay behind the baseline and not foot fault. I believe you will try a more conservative toss to allow you to swing confidently. Something technical to see is how Hossein is trying to whip the racket at the ball compared to how I will whip towards the ball. In my service motion, you will see the racket drops through the hand and then up with the hand. In Hossein's service motion, the arm is moving in concert with the movement of the body. The core of his body is the whip, and the end of the whip isn't whipping. It's simply hitting through or against the ball. This is a restriction on your whip. If you throw that hand without any restrictions, I'm confident you will feel a more natural whipping motion. So the last tip I leave you with is that you want to combine lots of power with lots of spin. To get spin, your racket should brush across the ball upwards. This is easier going from left to right for righties, and slowly building that tolerance to go from low to high. Practice different variations for different results. If you can't go all the way to the right comfortably, please don't force yourself. Stay within your natural swing path. If it feels wrong, question it.